Good evening and welcome to the Minions of the Zoo. It's an unruly zoo tonight. With me tonight are minions Kefki.
Sorry.
It's okay, Sora Luna.
I'm not sorry.
I know you're not. You're unrepentant Sora Luna. SkepTok.
I am a citizen under sale. I am not operating this vehicle.
Very nice. Very sovereign of you. Serenity Star 13.
Hello.
And DrFunctional.
Not sorry.
Are we all festively plump now? Have we are we all
considering that like two of the members on this are not Functional's American by other things, but I don't know if he actually celebrated Thanksgiving, but I don't know.
Don't you guys just like sympathy eat though? You figure if we're feasting, you guys might just what the hell?
It might be impolite if we don't eat, so we should eat a yeah, we should eat. I agree. So take off. Eat.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they do. I'm pretty sure.
So Functional, did you do anything for our American holiday? I'm assuming probably
Hell
not.
no.
Hell no.
Yep.
Fine.
I mean, the usual gluttony aside.
There you go.
Yeah, just the normal standard level of gluttony.
Sure.
Excellent. Excellent. Serenity,
Yo.
how about you? Thanksgiving.
I had my regular level of gluttony. I had pumpkin pie, mashed potatoes, green beans, turkey, salad because you got to offset some of it. Plenty of gravy, a lot of gravy. What else did we have? And then we've been eating turkey for the last couple days because we used to die to the turkey.
Because that's the thing. Did you ever catch Iron Chef? The original one from Japan, not the stupid remake?
Yeah. Yes.
Occasionally, yeah. Not all the time, but occasionally.
There was an Iron Chef episode that was like an Iron Chef holiday special episode. And I still remember them describing the food. It was like an American style thing, but in Japan, you know, so they were like turkey, you know, cranberry jam and gravy sauce. There was just no translation in Japanese for gravy. So suddenly there's like this string of Japanese and then just gravy sauce. And now in my mind, every time I look at gravy, I hear this Japanese man's voice in my head. I'm very suggestible. It's quite sad.
There you go.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so we all survived, although there's still some turkey to be eaten before it goes bad. Hi, Scap.
Boy, I am so full. We had a ham focus, and I mean, tonight I was getting rid of the rest of the ham. I was handing it out to the dogs. The dogs were going, "Dad is great."
Yeah, our dog's got turkey too. Same.
God, that was fun handing out the ham to the dogs. So anytime you get to hand out meat from the table to your dogs is a good day. It was fun to amuse ourselves that way. But, you know, everybody is kind of doing their own thing. We had our big meal actually 2 days ago because of work schedules. You know, these are ER nurses and you know, surgery nurses. They have to work on Thanksgiving, and they get so much money to work on Thanksgiving. They pay them so much extra. It's just ridiculous not to take the opportunity to work that day.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know, all the senior people work on Thanksgiving. That's the way that works.
Yep.
If you know it.
Because you want it.
I found. Right, exactly.
You're getting paid like triple time kind of thing.
Exactly. It is triple. It is exactly triple, Harry.
Yeah.
That's what she gets. So it's 3 days of pay for a day of work. You know, day of work, it's $3,000 or $4,000. It's just making money like I can't believe.
Yeah. It's like printing your own money practically.
Yeah.
But
Makes saving easier, that's for damn.
yeah, it does. I remember before, sort of when I was working to put myself through university, got a job in the hospitality industry, and my family had trouble adjusting to the fact that Harry was not going to be around during the holidays. not in the traditional sense. You know, you get up
Not the
really
way that
early.
works.
Yeah, that's not the way that works. It was pretty rough, but between that and then getting into IT, I'm just sort of used to always being on the hook for holidays. Because
because in IT, that's when the systems are down, or you can take them down to a level when you can do some maintenance that you wouldn't be able to do when
Yep.
they're up and operational.
that is the only
they
time
call
when
it
you can do
enabled.
certain types of things is on
absolutely
holidays. I still recall Y2K when everybody was
Yes.
all in a state of perpetual pucker about Y2K. And
We were in the lab at Lucent.
yeah, I was sitting in my office just in case somebody called, not because I expected anything to go wrong, but just I knew that if I wasn't there and somebody called me, even if nothing went wrong, they would be pissed off at me. It's like it's just expected, and that's sort of the way it was with working on the holidays. But I don't recommend it unless you're going to get paid triple time. Just tell people to bugger off if they try to get you to work major holidays, because 10, 20 years later, you're going to be really unhappy that you did that.
No, that's right.
But anyway, hi, Sora.
Hello.
But you didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but you did celebrate Black Friday.
Sure.
You said you bought yourself a plush thing, like a plush Cthulhu or
So
something.
excited about it.
So much celebration as
That's it.
yes. It was a hard week. Fuck it. I'm
Merry fucking Christmas.
getting myself a plush.
Yeah.
If it helps, I'm also stuffed, but from grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup.
Man, that's like just one of the best
actually-
combinations. I love
I
grilled
love
cheese
that.
sandwich and tomato soup.
Yeah, I'm right with you guys. Yep.
But it's slightly fancy because it was from a restaurant, so it's it was a bit of a
Gruyere.
moosed goat cheese. So triple cheese with one of which was moosed goat cheese, delicious.
Yeah.
I added additional red onion and tomato to it, which made it even
It's like
better.
what we used to have in Dayton in 1958.
And the tomato soup had lemongrass and coconut in it.
Huh.
It's very good.
That's wonderful. That sounds marvelous.
I usually
It
just
really does. I love lemongrass. Love all
Me
things
too.
thyme.
I usually go really basic on the tomato soup, but I try to brighten it up with a little bit of good sherry vinegar at the end, and that makes me very happy. Just
Throw a
that.
little garlic powder in there too.
Huh?
That'll make you very happy.
I just throw it.
Take regular tomato soup. Just throw a little garlic powder in it, and thank me later.
I think my whole house is basically just a cloud of garlic powder at this point. It's not
Yeah, I was gonna
not
say.
really necessary to add any more.
Right.
Kefki, are you with us? Or are you just muted? Kefki must have stepped away.
No one ever described Kefki as muted.
I'm not mute. Wait, I am. Okay, hello.
Hi.
We're back.
So how was Tennessee Thanksgiving?
Me and Lover slept most of the day.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, we just slept.
So very
No,
easy.
Yes, when Noah came home from work, one of his coworkers was sweet enough to send us plates of food, though. God bless her. It was wonderful. So I did get to eat something for Thanksgiving.
Good.
And her macaroni and cheese, oh my God, it was amazing. It's the best macaroni and cheese I had in my life. Sorry, Mama. But yeah,
Maybe bacon grease.
look, I don't care.
No,
I don't
I
care
agree with
if
you.
it was in pots and grease. It was amazing.
Well,
Little grease work for you.
Possum
Yeah.
grease is really good for cooking, but you got to use it the day you take it, if you know what I mean.
Giggity.
yeah. Hey, functional.
Bad, really fast.
Yeah.
So here's a typical, or maybe not quite so typical Thanksgiving meal that somebody's putting together. I love this video. So there's the turkey. Looks delicious, doesn't it?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
And then
it.
Is it
here's
steamed?
yeah, she's steaming the turkey. Here's her first course. She's getting Franco-American macaroni and cheese out of the can.
That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
Look at
yeah,
that.
As you do.
This
Steam
is
that bad boy.
this is very deluxe what she's doing here, and then putting Velveeta
damn.
cheese over the top.
The
Yeah, baby.
dog's excited.
Yeah.
Delicious. I'd eat it.
That's right.
It almost goes straight to your arteries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanksgiving,
And then
go to
the
town,
next
baby
step
girl.
is going to be,
Oh,
some,
I love
Coke with
cooked ham.
cheese.
some cooked
Is she
ham.
open Purina cat food? Oh, that's ham.
That's American cheese.
It's
isn't it?
ham. And so
God.
they cut the
The
ham up.
dog.
Look at that. And then to make it fancy.
Oh my
That's-
god. Oh
This
my
is a joke,
God.
right?
No, this is actually
Yeah, they put
Right,
pineapple.
right.
Nice, very good, very
put
good.
pineapple on top.
Those aren't hams. Those are hamlets.
No, don't pour it over it. What are you
To be or
doing?
not to be.
We got that. And then there's her green bean casserole, which from canned green beans, of course. But she's going to
Oh,
put
and
bacon bits
pineapple,
over the top.
baby.
She's got some bacon
Pineapple.
bits. There's some canned beans.
Oh
Is
my
this- is
God,
there-
beans.
Dr. Pepper. Look
Is
at that
this-
turkey.
Oh my god.
Wow. Calm down.
And you want to
This looks like something I would
This
make.
It looks-
I can't cook.
It
What
looks
the
like
hell is
sadness
that?
to me.
Here,
This is
here,
the
here at the prison.
here's the marshmallows with on top of the sweet potatoes, canned.
Sweet taters.
Yeah, this just looks
Yeah.
like so much sadness on a plate. Hopefully,
Wait,
That's it? We're not warming it up? That's
no,
it?
she's doing it
This
for
is food
tomorrow.
abuse.
Because all,
Yeah,
she's
opening all
prepping.
those cans took so much time. She literally is doing it a day in advance.
It's a Thanksgiving miracle. I'm agreeing with Gunsky here. Please stop.
I did. I stopped.
Yeah.
I grew up enough poor country people that this doesn't bother me.
Well,
I
I mean-
understand where you all are coming from, but
Every single thing in a
Same time.
can, it's like, I mean, I guess if it's like it's like a TikTok challenge, shelf stable Thanksgiving. I guess we should.
well, I mean, the thing is like, especially if it's because that's not a very large kitchen. Her house doesn't look like it's very new, so I'm guessing she's probably bought a lot of the canned stuff over the year. Because money's hit some people harder. So
Yeah.
this doesn't bother me. Like I said, I grew up too country. Like this is nothing bad. Like this is not even close to bad.
You could bury
Yeah.
this stuff with somebody, and it would be like the Pharaohs, where the wine is still good. This stuff would still be edible too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, as far as cost goes, like for instance, I go to the restaurant supply, I buy 10-pound bags of elbow macaroni for less than $1 a
Here,
pound.
you have to understand. Like in my area, there is a restaurant supply store.
I understand.
Like I get and it is funny, but at the same time, like I've had some damn good country meals that look like that after they've been cooked,
Yeah.
or like before they've been cooked. So
Yeah.
like I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, these are my people.
Well,
She's from
I can
Arkansas,
tell you,
I can see her.
I would have no problem with the beans, and I would have no problem
Oh,
with the
yeah.
macaroni and cheese. I could choke
Those
that
are
down.
the pepper beans. Those are the good canned
I
baked
can,
beans.
I
Those are
can,
Dr. Pepper
those are
ones.
the fancy beans, and I can choke down that macaroni and cheese all day. That green bean casserole can just suck a bag of dicks. I'm not eating that.
Yeah, I'm not a big green bean casserole. Has to be done a very specific way for me
And
to
there's
eat it.
like way better ways to cook that ham than whatever that thing is. So
Yes.
I mean, if you ain't got much money, that's a way to do it. That's
Yeah.
a way to do
I think her
Thanksgiving
stove's
dinner. I'd
broke.
eat it.
I
I think her oven's broke. I think that's
Maybe.
what
Actually,
it
there's
is.
a lot of
Wow.
wasted. There's a lot of wasted money. She's getting a lot of good processed stuff
yeah,
that she could process herself. And
Yeah, but that's relying on having time, though.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
may
yeah.
work full time.
she
exactly.
might.
Yeah,
Well, now,
and,
see,
like,
now I feel bad.
Sorry, it's just I get very defensive of my
No,
level of
you
income
should.
people
You-
part of the country.
You
Is she from
absolutely
Arkansas?
should.
She's one of the Midwestern country people. I gotta protect my peeps.
Okay.
No, Arkansas
No,
is the
that's a
moral
very
equivalent of
legitimate-
West
yeah.
Virginia.
Yep.
Definitely
Well,
tear that
technically,
squash up. It
Florida.
looks delicious.
Which,
Sorry, Harry.
Which thing looks delicious?
That squash.
There is no
She
squash on
put the
that.
velvet. Yeah, she opened some squash. And
No.
she put
It-
some velvet
that was-
stuff on it.
Kraft macaroni. That was Chef Boyardee
macaroni
macaroni and
and
cheese.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
macaroni.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
geez.
macaroni-
Well, I'd still
yeah.
tear that up too, because
Yeah,
I
I
love
would too.
macaroni.
Hey,
Oh my lord! this
Kefki,
thing
you
with
still
Velveeta?
haven't even gone. You still haven't even gone to Interstate
That's just
Barbecue
good eating,
and
isn't it,
had the
Kefki?
deep fried smoked barbecue sausage
I
yet.
Hell
can't
yeah.
find that place. I looked. I think the nearest one near me is out in Nashville,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's in like the
Yeah,
big city.
so-
You'd have to like go there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a trek. That's gonna be difficult. I'd actually asked though the next time I go to my doctor if we could go by there.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
ask your
he printed
doctor,
out
just-
the
just
directions from
go.
Map,
Just go.
Well,
MapQuest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nashville's a nightmare anyway.
Going to
Oh
map
yeah,
gas.
driving in it, Lord.
No, no. Mm-mm. Lived there for 3 years, never again.
Okay, so I like to give you
That's why
guys.
Harry feel bad.
I like to give you guys an opportunity to shame me. I normally wouldn't plan it to right after I got my attitude checked about macaroni and cheese, but we're gonna stick with the program anyway. So apparently the Cybertruck is actually well put together, and there's a part of me that kind of wants one. I'm not gonna get one, but I kind of want one, if only
Yeah,
for the
I
fact
feel
that
ya.
it would piss people off.
There you go. That's the Harry we know.
I kind of want one because it's like a giant extended middle finger
Yeah,
to
it
just
says,
everybody.
cancel me. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
I mean,
Do it,
Go
Harry.
for it, Harry.
Do it.
it's.
Do it.
I mean, this thing is like so. Is it ugly enough that it's actually good looking yet? Is it just sort of like brutalist architecture? Because
Oh, it's brutalist. That's for sure.
I'm very conflicted. There's one at Santana Row, so I could just go there and take a look at it.
Go and see if you
I
fall
would go
in
see
love
it.
with it. And it may be like that ugly puppy that follows you home.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be the beginning of a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I could put my motorcycle in the back and then drive around and be even more ridiculous. I think that's
Okay. I have to. Do you hear me?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
StreamYards just muted me for no reason, saying my mic unplugged. I'm about ready to go drive to where StreamYards exists and punch everybody who works in the higher
Kick
up.
them square in the nuts. Yeah,
Dum, 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 dum.
understood.
It's like your mic's been unplugged. No one has it.
There's this 3-wheeled motorcycle that's made in Canada. It's the Can-Am Spider, right? 2 wheels in
Yep.
front, 1 in the back. And I knew this guy who hated that thing so much that he would say, "Hey, you ride a motorcycle. What do you think of this?" And I go, "I don't care." And then he'd say, "I hate this more than anything." And it's like, go on.
right.
And I'm sitting here thinking, if I win the lottery, I'm going to buy one of these and drive it around in front of his house just to piss him off.
You're
Up and down
contrarian,
his-
Harry. I feel
I'm a
that.
total contrarian.
I can feel that. I'm the same way. I would.
Yeah.
I will do that in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I have to stop myself from doing stuff. I'm like, I want to do that now, just to be able to piss you off.
So, but if I bought this, as long as I didn't evangelize about it all the time, we could still be friends.
oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna judge you for that.
I would even take an occasional evangelical outburst. Be fine.
Okay.
I am a fellow contrarian. I can't judge you for wanting to do it just to be contrary.
Well, I also kind of like the idea of a more or less bulletproof car because I could.
Oh heck yeah.
I could drive.
Go to Oakland.
I could drive through. Yeah, somebody could just come up to the window and just start tapping their 9mm against my glass and be like, "Sorry, I just don't care enough. Just get out of my
Just
way."
make sure it's not a rock.
Yeah, they fixed that, by the way.
I know, but I had to make the joke.
So things are going well for Elon. So,
Yay.
so this happened, and everybody. Well, I guess everybody who was paying attention thought it was pretty
Uh-oh.
cool.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm constantly having to squish these
just-
things. Yeah, so this crazy eccentric libertarian guy is now the president of Argentina, or I guess he'll be taking office soon. I'm not sure what the period is between these things, but a lot of people seem to be having a lot of fun with this because he's extremely memeable.
Hey man, I hope he succeeds. That's the way I look at every leadership. I hope they don't fuck the country up worse, and I hope he does well.
Well, it's not going to be easy.
Oh yeah, it never is.
I mean, are we all more or less familiar with this guy?
You've talked about him before. I remember that.
I guess I have talked about him before. So he's already running into some issues. So the guy that he had, oh great, thank you for that. Well, anyway, let's just ignore that for the moment. So the guy he had tapped as the person who was supposed to run the Treasury Department to manage the process of switching over to dollars rather than using their useless peso. He's already sort of backtracking from the plan of switching over to the dollar right away, the president. And so the guy he had tapped is like, yeah, I'm not going to take the job. My only reason I would take that job is to just switch to the dollar. He wrote a paper, the guy who was going to take over, and it was about the dollarization. And he basically points out that pretty much already about 6/7 of the money that's circulating in there is already dollars. The peso is so worthless that almost nobody uses it unless they're being forced, unless the police are basically looking. all of the real commerce is happening in dollars already anyway. So by getting rid of the peso and the artificial exchange rate that they've set for it, they're not really doing much of anything except making something legal that's already happening. There's really no downside to it. The guy makes a pretty convincing point. So I don't know what's stopping him, because it sounds like he's backtracking already on one of his big campaign promises. So I want to be happy and excited about this, but I think we need to just sit back and kind of see what his actions are and not trust him on his words, because I don't want to have my heart broken again.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So do you know the Argentine peso is worth less than a third of a cent?
Yeah. It's like a little over 1,000 pesos to a dollar.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's actually 358 pesos to the dollar today.
Oh,
Just
wait.
today.
No, that's the official rate that they've pegged it at by law.
Right.
The
right.
actual rate,
Oh, no.
the real rate is
what
a
you
little
pay on
over
the street
1,000. Yeah.
No, it's measured in pounds.
No, it's
Pounds
it's,
of currency.
it's about 3 times less than the official rate as of right now. At least when the paper was written in October, it could be totally different now.
No,
Which-
it's measured in number of wheelbarrows full.
To give Chad a idea, the Mexican peso is worth 6 cents of American money. So that shows you the difference between pesos.
Well,
Yeah.
but the Mexican peso actually has Mexican oil in back of it. It has a country that with a GDP that isn't a lie, like Argentina's is.
Well, I think to be completely honest, I think a lot more countries' GDPs are lies than a lot of people are willing to accept, because we know China's lie about their GDPs.
Some are. Oh yeah, China is a complete bullshit, but
UAE is bullshit.
Argentina. There are. Well,
I don't
let's
follow
not get into
Argentina
the
very-
unsavory accounting practices of certain South American countries, but let's
Yeah,
just say
really.
those exist, and that Argentina has told the truth about itself for a long, long time, and those chickens are coming home to roost. They've toasted their currency. They're kind of a cautionary tale for the U.S. We're doing the same to our own with our debt.
Well, by a few factors less, though, unfortunately. But it is something to learn from. But the main reason for switching to the dollar is, and a number of prominent economists outside of Argentina have said the same thing over the last few years, people who actually know a thing or two about economics, is that if you have a small government who has no fiscal discipline, the best thing you can do is just switch to a stable major currency like the dollar, because it protects you from the abuse of the printing press. So the next time some of those Peronists get back in and they start printing money like, I don't know, what prints money? Like,
U.S.
yeah, like the U.S.
Well, the United States government printing office is what prints all the currency in the United States.
But it's a lot harder to go back. Once you switch to the dollar in a democracy, trying to get them to switch back
you're
to the
done.
peso, it's just not going to happen. So this is the kind of change that if they make it now, it's going to be nothing but good for them over the long term.
Yeah.
Because the people that he replaced, their strategy was to just default on their debt. That was their plan. That was literally what they were running on. They're saying, if you vote for us, we're just going to default and it's going to be great.
By the way, we're getting resistance. This is really happening to economic colonization of the dollar. That's one of the arguments against Argentina adopting an actual currency instead of the fiction they
Seriously?
currently use.
That's not an argument. That's a slogan. That's propaganda. That's nothing. That is not. That's not even the beginnings of an argument.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Argentina's inflation was 138% and is up to 143%
This is fine.
as of October 23rd.
This is fine.
How about some ocean news?
Do it!
Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Orcas may have been part of the sperm whale attack that inspired Moby Dick.
Nice! So they've been assholes since forever.
Yes.
Good to know.
Though it may seem modern, whales have been sinking boats
Assholes of
since
the
at least the 1800s. In 1820, a sperm whale sank a whaling boat. The lifeboats were later attacked by what may have been orcas. The story is said to have inspired the novel Moby Dick and was adapted into a 2015 film. That last part is completely unnecessary. Who cares about your 2015 film? But I didn't
even know there was a 2015 film.
yeah. So I added to the meta tags for the stream. I added #orca. So if you're coming here expecting a lot of orca news, I'm sorry. This is kind of the extent of it. I just think orcas are dicks, and the fact that they've been dicks for a long time amuses me, because. You know, I mean, I know they're not technically fish, but they're bad enough to be fish. So
Yeah, they play with their food before they eat it.
yeah,
They're not fish.
More like torture it, but yeah, we'll go with play.
Yeah, they're like you say, they're total dicks.
they are total dicks.
They're humans of the ocean.
But they're not fish.
They're
What?
Democrats of the ocean.
They're
There you
not
go.
fish.
No, they're mammals.
They are mammalian. They are mammalian.
Oh,
They
I
live
say
birth.
this as somebody who's been a registered Democrat for 30 years. People are surprised when I tell them that. I am what they used to call a Reagan Democrat, I guess, as much as anything, before he became a libertarian.
Nice. Well, anyway, orcas are dicks. Let's see.
But they're entertaining dicks, and that's all that matters.
So still on sort of an ocean adjacent theme. This is the thing that makes me happy today. With no access to crypto, disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried is now trading fish to pay for services in prison.
Oh,
Gay.
no. Where is he
okay.
getting the fish?
Also, it's like, is it fish or is it fish?
No, it's fish. Sam Bankman-Fried has figured out mackerel is the currency of choice among inmates. He recently used it to pay for a haircut, a source told the Wall Street Journal. The Journal reported the food item has been a popular currency in prisons since 2004. Now, I feel like this raises a number of questions, that I have no answers to. If this was April 1st, this would make more sense. How can you use mackerel as currency? Because it seems like it's a little too perishable.
Source for this information that has been revealed in this one single source?
A source, Skep,
A source, okay.
told the Wall Street Journal.
What does Scott Adams say about a source? A source is never to be believed, ever. Not ever. There are no exceptions to this.
Yeah, well, it says the new polished haircut he has been seen with in New York courtrooms appears to be thanks to an inmate. In a Thursday report, a source told the Wall Street Journal that SBF paid for a haircut with packaged mackerel, a type of paleollagic fish that is a choice of currency amongst inmates.
All right.
All right.
Is it because it comes in a tin and you can use that as
It says
/weapon?
it says here the fish popularly referred to as Max among inmates has been the choice of currency in federal prison
This
since
feels like fan
2004.
fiction.
After cigarettes were banned,
Having a
sources
big
told the
mackerel
Journal in
attack.
2008.
it's Mac tonight.
Yep.
Look back, old mackerel's back.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Enough jocularity at SBF's expense. Come on, it's funny.
It is.
It is funny.
I just hate him so much. That I hate him like I hate Bernie Madoff. He took people's goodwill and greed and ruined them. Ruined a lot of people.
Well, I have an extremely not surprising headline for you, Skep. Prepare to not be surprised. Cyber pros avoid smart devices. There's a good reason.
Yeah, imagine my shock.
I know.
Yes.
Imagine that people who are involved in security wouldn't want to put tiny, rarely, if not ever, patched devices that are internet connected with microphones and cameras throughout their house.
Why do you want an analog? Why do you want an analog thermostat, Mr. SkepTok? Shut up! Stop spying on me.
So does anybody here want to defend the honor of like Amazon Echo and things like that? Do any of you guys actually use those?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Mine's interrupted the stream a few times. But I mean, do what you gonna do. If you have a cell phone at this point, you're too late.
Okay, so what do you use this? So where is this Echo located?
Next to my computer.
Okay, so it's sort of in your office area, your workstation
Yeah.
area. Okay.
So it can monitor.
And so do you actually talk to it like by voice and tell it to like order more Tide Pods or whatever?
I use it to control my lights. I use it to control and give me reminders for certain things on my calendar and stuff like that. And yeah, I do talk to it.
Okay.
I'll ask it to roll a dice. It's muted right now, so it's not gonna respond to me. But I also don't. I like to pretend that it's I'm on Next Generation, call it computer. So,
No, I think that the Amazon Echo is less of an issue from a security perspective than a lot of the other devices, because the Internet of Things is includes a lot of stuff that you might not expect, and it's so cheap now to put like a low energy, like a Zigbee or low energy Bluetooth or type thing where it can create a mesh network. It doesn't even have to have its own cellular network with other devices that are nearby. I guess the main concern is that with all these other smart devices that aren't getting patched, like you don't update the firmware in your refrigerator, right? So,
No,
a lot of that stuff just never gets updated.
I do.
Yeah.
But
I like
normal
the
people
idea.
don't.
If you don't update your fridge, it won't open the door.
Nice.
Because like you can't certain apps you can't open it without updating it. It's like, oh, a new update has appeared. Please download to.
But I've got to get
enjoy
to
the
my
app.
insulin. It's in the refrigerator. My insulin's in the refrigerator.
I went to Fry's one time, and this was like several years ago when these things first started coming out. And a lot of them used Windows CE as their operating system, sort of an embedded-ish version of Windows. And nothing made me happier than going to Fry's, looking at refrigerators, and seeing the blue screen of death on a refrigerator door.
Oh no!
Sorry, Serenity, we collided. What were you
you're
saying?
good. Well, it's one of those things. Like I think a lot of technology, because you're starting to see it again, is starting to kind of go the way it is. You know how everyone's like, get rid of your vinyl. No one wants vinyl. Blah 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 blah. And we've had record players coming back, and you have a lot of people who are like either making like they're still very basic record players. Like they don't have Bluetooth in them. They're basic. Like you have to wire a speaker to them and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening again with appliances, because we had to change our fridge out maybe 2-3 years ago. And that was when big thing about having a screen in your fridge was a big deal. And we found one of the ones that didn't, because my mother doesn't want that and I don't want that, and we don't have to connect to the Wi-Fi. But you're starting to see those all go away now. Like you don't really see screens on refrigerators anymore. I know that also like when it comes to washers and dryers, because for a while they were saying washers and dryers can hook up to your Wi-Fi, and then Speed Queen, which for people who've never had to buy a washer and dryer, Speed Queen is kind of god tier.
It is. There's a reason why they use it in laundromats.
Yeah,
and
they're
even the
amazing.
home versions are not as big a step down.
They're not.
Speed Queens aren't basically built to break right after the warranty ends.
Yeah.
No, they are built like Kirby vacuum cleaners are built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
It's
that's
that kind of a difference.
And that's the thing, like, Speed Queen saw even a bigger bump in their sales when they started trying to make washers and dryers Wi-Fi. And now everybody's going back to being non-Wi-Fi and having dials and not buttons and stuff like that. So I think there's, like anything, the pendulum swings back the other way, and I think a lot of people are going, fuck you. I don't want to deal with your fucking Wi-Fi on the fucking fridge. I have Philips Hue lights, yes, I am that person. So that's the reason why I have the Echo, is because I will tell it to turn on different lights in the house.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I'm
anybody
lazy
not
fuck.
like
Because
vinyl.
I'm a lazy fuck and I don't want to get out of my
Sorry.
bed.
Well, other than
Oh, no, you're good,
sort of
Kefki.
security stuff,
don't
you could
think-
imagine a bad actor doing something like turning your heat up as far as it'll go. You come home to find, your pets and your plants all dead. That's not good. So there are, I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit of a control freak, but I don't want any part
it's
of it.
fair.
And also,
I'm
like
not.
the Ring doorbell thing, they've been making
no.
it so the police can grab the footage from the doorbell without your consent.
Yeah, that's a
Essentially
no.
saying you don't own your own video doorbell data, even if you do something in the front yard, because it's like, you show me the person, I'll show you the crime. There are so many things you could be guilty of. If they wanted to just come after you, I don't want
Harry,
them getting
if you
footage.
haven't done anything wrong, you
You have
don't
nothing-
have anything to
I know.
worry about.
Why don't they just leave the microphones open on all the cell phones? I said that to
Exactly.
somebody IRL, and they said, "What? You don't think they already are?" It's like, okay, we're not having this conversation.
Well, it's like the other reason why, and this is not me trying to legitimize me having echo. I'm just explaining the things that I like it for.
Well, there has to
It
be an upside,
has-
right?
Well, the thing is like because I have Philips Hue lights, and if me and my mom aren't here, there's actually a security mode on it where if it hears any sound that is beyond normal sound. So if my dog's walking across the floor, it doesn't do anything. But if it hears like glass or if it hears wood break, it turns on all the lights, and then it'll alert me
Yeah.
if that happens. Which is part of the reason why I like it too, because I turn that on when my mom's here by herself.
My security
Just why in
system is
case.
cloud connected as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just stuff like the Echo is going to get updated, right? So it's really just a question of whether you're comfortable with Amazon having access to a microphone in your house, okay? That's a much smaller threat than what I'm talking about, which is hundreds of devices in your house doing all sorts of things in concert that are easily hackable and never updated. In a lot of ways, what you're doing is you're what security people would call creating a larger attack surface. And then once something gets a foothold on your network, they can do even more things to other things.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing I'm paranoid about. Like me and my mom are like, Skep, we have an analog thermostat because we're not changing to Wi-Fi. We're not doing Wi-Fi. No, screw that. Especially with the shit that's happening in Canada and California and stuff like that with some of the providers no, not Canada, England. Sorry, Canada.
Yeah.
Doing that crap.
Yeah,
where,
Canada.
Yes, next.
Probably.
We're going
trying
to
be
fix
nice.
your thermostat for you so
Yeah.
that you'll force conservation.
Well,
And that's the thing, like our
You have
Like our
consumed
kids'
too
gas.
much meat this month. Your heating will be turned off
yeah.
in
yes,
the middle of January.
a methane
fuck
plume
you.
has been detected over your house.
Yeah, because I farted on your system.
So, one more just sort of little public service announcement from the minions here. There are a number of new phishing attacks that are coming out, and one that I had not heard of before is called quishing. It is a phishing technique resulting from the
with
combination
QR
of
codes?
QR codes and phishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so essentially,
Not
Very careful.
take pictures of QR codes you're not aware of who they belong to.
Just be careful of taking pictures in public because they put the
If you
QR
know
codes
what
in random
those
spots.
are, those things shove a link at you, and if you run that link, you're running code on your machine
Yep.
yeah.
potentially.
So quishing.
Yeah, it's a
And
terrible
then
name.
the other thing that they're doing is
uncomfortable.
they're basically hiding the page, the second page that gets loaded behind a CAPTCHA. So the antivirus stuff will scan the stuff coming down, but essentially the bomb is on the other side of a CAPTCHA thing, so it is not able to scan it. So just pay attention to what you're accessing and just hope for the best. And if you've got any
Don't be
older
an
people,
idiot.
if you've got like an older parent or something, do the necessary stuff to protect them, take care of them.
Euthanize them.
I think
No,
I
it's not
think
Canada.
Apple you can disable for it to read QR codes. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Android. I'm sure they've already done it. I just don't because I haven't used Android in years. But I know that like I have all that turned off on my mom's phone because she asked me to turn it off.
Good
She
job.
was like, just turn it all off.
Let's see. Before we make fun of California, I have all these palate cleansers. Let's see. What should we have as a palate cleanser? Just another announcement. So people in the Minions are giving me a hard time about Pluto still. You guys are so salty about this Pluto being a planet thing.
You're just wrong. Get
Just
over it.
because, you know what? We have no room in the server for haters, Harry.
I know.
Yeah.
So Robert Lange.
Hey.
What?
Yeah.
I said hate.
Oh, yeah, hate.
Oh, he
So
said
Robert
hate.
Lange sent this thing, said Pluto made a full orbit around the sun since it was discovered in 1930. And then this person said, I wouldn't finish my job if I got fired either.
Yeah.
Hey, king of the dwarf planets deserves some respect. I said, yeah, dwarf respect. It's small, squint, and you may see it.
Wow, Harry.
Kick him from the server.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible.
You don't need to be here.
Kefki, are you with us?
Yes.
Okay. Here you go, Kefki.
Poor Jeff.
Oh my god!
This otter's showing this person how to pet it.
Oh my God, I love this so much.
It's like, woman, look at how I'm doing my hand. Do the same.
Do the
Just
thing
do
with
the-
the peach.
Do it like that.
Right here. He's having a hit day.
Oh my god!
Thank God cats don't have not all cats have that ability. If they did, we would.
It is pretty funny. It is like he's gesturing, like, do this to my head. Like
Touch
this.
me.
Here, just do it like this. Just like that.
Oh my god!
I know it's
Like-
not a
It's so
ferret.
cute.
I know it's not a ferret, but I thought you might like that.
It's a water ferret.
Slight,
Yeah.
slight, like addendum. For the longest times, I thought
Aqua
otters
ferret.
just had like fins
Mm-hmm.
as hands. I didn't know they had actual like hands until like years. It was a few years ago that I saw their hands for the first time. But I just used to think they were just fins
Ah,
when I was little.
The face. Oh my god.
okay.
Look at the
Now you're
toe
like,
beans.
this is the best thing ever. They have hands.
Also, beavers are assholes.
Did you know that beavers
Oh,
are
yeah.
assholes? Wait till you see how smart this beaver is.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see,
They're spassholes, which are the worst
actually-
kind.
This has actually grown a lot.
Smart
And he's
asshole.
trying to get this new creek to run down the road, just to
Mm-hmm.
piss off everybody. And I think it's
Yep.
hilarious.
On
Come
purpose.
with me and I'll show you. So he built this to come across the road here.
We'll fast
Yep.
forward it past this walking part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
This
they're
is the funny
spassholes.
part. Okay, so there is a culvert right here.
Yep,
Which
and
is-
he clogged it.
Underground pipe. Water is barely coming out of there at all. So this beaver has dammed off this culvert. Now he's really got it running across
What
the
a
road.
fuck?
Yeah, there's little shit
beaver.
And as you can see over here,
He's got another
he's
one
starting
blocked.
to build another dam. So
Yep.
he's going to block this off. Eventually,
Another
this
damn
road is
what?
going to get washed out.
Yeah, he's basically decided that, you know where I'd like there to be a beaver pond? This road.
Yep. It's not your road, it's my road.
I've chosen this.
I'm the captain now. Okay. All right, let's see. We were going to make fun of California. We don't not need to spend a lot of time on this because the answer is obvious. Identifying fake news will now be a school requirement in California. I think we can all predict how this is going to go. Because in your mind, you're probably thinking, oh, yeah, you know, how to identify fake news, critical thinking, you know, that sort
Yeah.
of thing will give them some
Kill the
tools.
pig, spill its blood.
You know
cut
that's
its
not
throat.
what it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know,
Wait,
only
it's
get
going to be
news.
Lord of the Flies.
Only get news from
on white
trusted
men.
sources like MSNBC and the Utney Reader.
Authoritative sources.
Yeah. Use fact
Ryan
checkers.
Stelter.
Yeah. If you see something that
Oh,
doesn't match
boy.
match what your teachers have told you, it's probably right-wing propaganda.
That's right. That's disinformation, and you need to report it. Report it to a Harridan named Karen soon.
Yeah.
If the person's name rhymes with trucker,
You know, when I was in school, there was the big debate was sort of the pandas and people thing. There were right-wing people were trying to get religion into science classes. You know, differing magisteria. There's no point in commingling these things. And I remember saying at the point to some people back then, I said, if you really want to introduce your religion into the science class and have me use the scientific method to criticize your religion in front of you as part of my coursework, by all means, bring it on. I mean, what could possibly go wrong other than we'll all hate each other by the end of by the end of this class? Any sort of people just getting along peacefully coexisting. Because if you're gonna, you know, take your Dogon mythology and come at me in astronomy class, I'm gonna call you an idiot. That's just
That's because that's correctly naming an idiot.
Yeah.
Sometimes an idiot is an idiot.
is an idiot.
Oh, I mean, I don't particularly have a problem with religion per se, as long as they stay in their own lane. Recently,
Exactly.
I've been looking at this channel called, let's see, Upon Friar Review, and it has like these two monks who just review media stuff, like like religion and Seinfeld and different things. They watched the movie Dogma recently,
Oh, yeah.
and we're talking about that. It's actually a really cute little channel. So even though I'm not part of their club, they're just like a couple of real nice guys. So there's this one younger guy, and then there's this older friar. And so, it's like you can sort of tell the initiative probably came from the younger guy, but it's actually a really good channel. Upon Friar Review.
Were broilers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a good channel. I like that channel. All right, so we don't need to discuss this because we all know how this is going to go, and it's going to be terrible. And thank God I don't have any kids in schools in California. If I did, I would homeschool them immediately. Okay, so
Well, they're going to make learning about the Holocaust here mandatory.
okay. I mean, it is part of history, so
Apparently, it wasn't being taught before, or at least
Yeah.
since
Really?
I graduated high school to this year, it wasn't taught because that seems like a core whole freaking. I think we spent 2 years on that time period, you know, where we learned about everything. But there you go. So
Yeah, no, same here. Like we learned all about,
teaching all around.
wow.
Oh, the funniest thing I've ever seen is like there's videos been sneaking onto Instagram about this woman who teaches English and German. She's like, in Germany, they teach German kids about American propaganda. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Every country does propaganda. Do they teach them about the Holocaust? And she blocked me.
Oh.
Whatever you do,
Like-
don't mention the war.
Yeah, it's like how much in that propaganda book that they spend like an entire section on American? Do they talk about what America did during, like, just talk about what Germany did during the war? Like, how much did they talk? And she blocked me, and a lot of people apparently were mad at me. I was like, shut up.
I mean, you could put her in her place and just remind her that she only exists by the grace of the United States.
Oh no, well, she only has a job, but she's an American who teaches English in Germany. She's one of the people. But
Yeah,
it was just, it's one of those things where it's kind of like every country has propaganda, sugar tits. What's your point?
Are these Germans too?
Sorry.
I lied.
I'm trying to mute it. Stop. There we are. Whatever you do, don't mention the war.
Faulty Towers is great.
Let's see. Let's get to the funny walk part.
Oh yeah, somebody walk.
When the daughter starts to cry.
Yeah.
God, I love this show.
If you haven't seen Faulty Towers, you definitely have to see it.
We've got it in hard media in this house.
What? Jimmy Cagney! Jimmy?
Okay, never mind. Why are we watching this? Sorry.
Because it's
Faulty
fun.
Towers is great.
All right. So, I was complimenting Tesla on its marketing recently. Now, this may be a great way to lose a ton of money, but I think from a marketing perspective, this is actually a really good idea. If you're going to plug your stupid electric car in and spend an hour charging it, why not make the place where you charge your car an experience? So what they're talking about is creating a futuristic sort of Happy Days meets the Jetsons think. 24-hour diner where you can charge your car outside and watch movies on two big screens with like an observation deck on the roof.
That sounds awesome.
It does. I'm not
As
sure.
long as they let those of us who don't have an electric car be there too.
Yeah.
No.
I think if you want to go there and get a
Don't you
malt
know,
or
boy?
something, there's no
Electric
reason.
Car club only.
Yeah, it'll be like the Amex Platinum Card Lounge at the airport.
Yeah.
What do they call that thing? Is it the ambassador?
The Admirals Club.
The Admirals Club.
I was a member of that for like 20 years.
Yeah, I'm just like not going to spend an extra $570 a year on membership fees for
I had it
Amex.
written into my contracts.
Yeah.
Hey man,
I
they're
took some
willing
I
to
paid
do it.
that
Do
way.
it.
So this sounds like it could
fantastic
actually be
idea.
pretty fun. And this is in Southern California, the first one they're looking at. It's not just a hypothetical. They actually have the land to file permits at the city. This is a thing that's actually probably going to happen unless the government just puts the kibosh on it for some reason.
I'd like to see these rolled out like all over the Western world,
Yeah.
That'd be nice
Like
to have
wherever,
drive-ins back.
feasible for cars, because it's definitely like that would inspire me to, if I did own a car, to want an electric car, as opposed to I've seen the headache that my sister, because she and her husband both have Teslas, the headache they sometimes have to go through. And that's why initially I said no, Serenity, was because sometimes they'll come up to the edge of the mall parking lot or wherever these charging stations are, and there are people parked in front of the charging stations in regular fuel cars not charging, and it's like, well, what the fuck? Because the place is so busy that they wanted those parking spots or whatever. But I, to actually have more business, because obviously this is a business, you're making money through selling food and the service, to also give something that's more than just plug your car in and figure it out yourself. Figure out what you're going to do for the next hour.
Yeah.
Do while your car charges.
So people are parking in the spaces where you could charge your car and not charging their car. They're just leaving their...
Yeah, because it's a gas car or something like that.
They just kind of retrofitted some of the mall parking lots around here. We're on the outer edge.
Do you not know about how to key a car?
Or stab tires.
That's a good call. Just take a little awl with you.
Yeah.
That's what I use.
I'd love to. But
Alms are great.
Get a piece of ceramic from
I'm a good
old
boy who
spark
obeys
plug.
all the rules and regulations of my municipality.
We're the most law-abiding people I know. The people on this stream, and of course everybody in chat.
Signing our names on cars.
But this looks like fun. I mean, honestly, so much shit is less fun than it used to be. And I'm not one of those people that wants the world to go back to the 1950s or everything to be the way it was, because so many things are better. But one thing that's definitely not better is the amount of overall fun. And so if you say, do I choose freedom versus not freedom? I choose freedom. Do I choose fun versus boring? I choose fun. I think this looks fun to me. And I think it's great marketing. Even if they run this thing and they make $0 on it, it sends a real message to the people that fosters brand loyalty. Like, people don't realize that a lot of advertising, you do two kinds of advertising. One kind of advertising is to get people to buy your product. And the other kind of advertising is to get people to feel good about the product they've already bought, so that they'll buy the product again. And I think this falls very much in that second category. I think it's a great idea, and I can't imagine a regular car company doing this. But that's enough simping for Tesla for one day. Okay.
I think we still have quite a ways to go, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cargo.
Elon's is an iconoclast, if nothing else.
Yeah. Cargo theft crew arrested with $9.5 million stash of stolen goods. So yeah, in Southern California, they actually busted these people who've been boosting stuff from all these stores. And it's not just people looking for bread individually. They're part of organized gangs, and then the shit ends up in here.
Well, wait. These are the people who are stealing the food for their families, right?
Well, this is stuff that was like stolen out of cargo trucks, for instance.
So that they can sell it and get the food for the family.
So they can get the bread for their families.
They can put it on another truck and sell it off the back.
But I got to tell you, California's getting really fed up with this crap. And
Well, I mean, that's what the mob used to do.
A lot of
Like, the
people
mob
are
used
starting
to
to come
do-
around.
Yeah. It takes time.
It
Skep's
takes
right.
time.
When he's talked about it, like, it just takes time. You just gotta wait for the pendulum to swing. Doesn't mean you don't put up a fight, but it's one of those things like you gotta stand your ground, but also gotta learn to let people make their mistakes. And as much as it sucks for people to get hurt from it, sometimes people have to get hurt. I don't like it when people get hurt or have things stolen, but it's gotta happen sometimes, sadly.
Anybody who has raised kids, the parallels with raising kids are stark and obvious.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
You gotta learn those lessons, and unfortunately, a lot of these people, because they've been so coddled and fucking insulated from the actual harsh realities of the world, they get something like, honestly, most theft is an inconvenience. Like most muggings, inconvenience. Yes, you lose your wallet. Sometimes you lose some cards, but it's not super egregious. But even something that small can maybe wake them up to see, oh, hey, look, this does breed repeat offenders of this kind of crime will then escalate. And recidivism rates, especially in California, super high. So now they're you hope that they wake up. unfortunately, places like California and New York have seemed to, you see like people like good hair Newsom like holding onto that pendulum for dear life, saying no, 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 no. You know, seeing that it's going to swing the other way, and that's.
So I need to get caught up with chat. I was finally, while you guys were talking, I had a moment to look at it. So Assassin of the Grey is pointing out that, yes, so they invented the rest stop. I mean, historically, if you look at the invention of the rest stop, the actual invention of it, when motorways started getting developed and people had more, a little bit more disposable income, and they could buy things like cars, and they had leisure time, the invention of like the rest stop was actually a big deal. I mean, it's a big historical element, and a lot of those things have sort of fallen by the wayside because you just chew up miles on an interstate as quickly as you can. There's nothing by the side of the road. There's no reason to stop. Now that there's a reason to stop, reinventing the rest stop, I think that's a valid analogy, and a lot of the reasons for doing it are the same. The thing about rest stops was it was an affordable option. I mean, the stop itself was part of the entertainment. You'd go there, you'd have a nice meal for a reasonable price, not spend a bunch of time cooped up in a car, and then you'd get back on the roads. I think
there's some sort of attraction nearby.
Yeah, I think it's a valid analogy, but it's essentially a thing that everybody's sort of gotten rid of because the interstates basically killed a lot of the rest stops, for one thing, and then people, they just have different priorities with drive-throughs and things like that. So yeah,
Except
maybe.
Except the trucking ones. Trucking is still, because it's such a huge industry in North America, and I can see them going backwards with this. So the rollout of this, of Elon's Cybertruck stops, would be let's do it urban first, and then once his fleet of trucks starts, maybe they can either propose to people who currently have rest stops to upgrade or expand or whatever, or just start opening up little ones here and there, halfway points along major trucking arteries that the person can stop, have a bit of a rest, nice meal, watch a movie while the truck recharges, and then go the other half of their journey.
Well, cool.
I like how he's always looking forward, even though we might not be there yet.
Well, it's like here in West Virginia, we have what's called West Virginia Turnpike, and it only goes from the middle state down to Virginia. But the West Virginia Turnpike, one, because of a lot of truckers, and two, because mostly what's along it are just tiny ass little towns that have nothing in them. We still have the big rest areas that have a gift shop, yogurt place, restaurant, usually a couple different fast food places, big gigantic clean bathrooms. So those still kind of exist here a little bit, and I like them because that's half fun of the West Virginia Turnpike. Is just getting off there and being able to walk around a bit.
Yeah, you still have Stuckies that.
We do not. I wish we
shame.
did, but we do not. I wish we still had Shoney's. What am I kidding?
Yeah, I remember Shoney's.
Oh, I miss
And if you-
Shoney's. And
Serenity, if you think
Ponderosa.
of how, if you think of how Canada is, we're just as sparsely dispersed in our country, but only along one basic parallel. So all of our cross-country highways basically run through cities and large towns anyway. So we wouldn't have much need for them in between, except maybe in the prairies. But here, Ontario, Quebec, whatever, you could put these at the outskirts of the city for people road tripping, and you get to charge either right before you leave or right as you're coming into the city. I like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've mentioned Howard Johnson's before, and I think, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, I talked about the Harvey houses, which was the railroad equivalent of this from the 19th century. Which of course the movie The Harvey Girls, wasn't that was Judy Garland, and was Mickey Rooney in that? Please say no, but I know Judy Garland was in it. Anyway, I've never seen. I want to go back and see that movie. But I actually have a cookbook of Harvey House recipes.
Ooh, nice.
Because I kind of like my history of cooking thing. But I think it's a valid thing to say. It's like reinventing.
Judy Garland, Angela Lansbury, Ray Bolger, Virginia O'Brien, John Hodiak, Sid Charisse.
Oh, really? I could watch that.
Marjorie Main, and let's just make sure that we don't.
Just a real quick while I looking that up, or looking at something. Joe McLaughlin, that part of the turnpike near Beckley, the plaza. That thing's been in and out of construction for the last like 15 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know that one's still under construction.
Oh,
There's still
by
like,
the way-
there are, like
I think technically you might have to drink because we're talking about roads and maps and things. I think that's in the drinking.
and I
game.
brought up West Virginia too, so
Yeah.
that's a drinking too.
So, but we only have like Loves and Pilot over here. It's kind of boring, but
You're safe on the Mickey Rooney thing.
thank God. I don't know what it is about
not
Mickey
in it.
Rooney, but he annoys me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ray Bolger in it when he was young. Very good.
Ray Bolger's fine. Got no issue with Ray Bolger. Okay, so let's see. What is the next thing?
Hardly knew her.
So does anybody, any skaters here, former or current?
What do you mean by skaters?
I'm a
like
skater.
roller skating?
No.
Yeah,
I'm a hockey skater and roller skater and
Sora's
rollerblader.
Toad, no.
Now, I used to, when I lived up in northern West Virginia, I used to live at a rolling skating rink, so I used to do it a bit.
Well, there is a roller skating area in Golden Gate Park, but there's a piece of leftover artwork from like Burning Man from some dance party thing that they did, where there's a big sign that just says no dancing. This is the most first world problem ever. Now, it's not actually a
in the way?
sign. It doesn't actually mean you can't dance. It's just that next to the roller disco area at Golden Gate Park, where you can roller skate around, there's an old art installation that says no dancing, and apparently this is something somebody's taken umbrage to. It's the least
Oh,
important
God.
problem I've ever heard anybody.
Have
I
too
mean,
much time on their hands.
Yeah,
They need a
really.
hobby.
I mean, really, this is the thing that this is the mountain you're going to stand on. This is your new cause. You're going to be upset about the big red sign that says no dancing near the
Something
roller
worth
disco
dying
park.
for. Yep, something to commit their lives to.
Oh boy. Look at a hobby.
Handmaid's Tale here. You have some fucking sympathy.
I don't. I don't have any sympathy.
I know.
But it's Handmaid's Tale.
That's right. However, not everybody's on board with having to look at a 115-foot long scarlet red work of art that superficially at least puts the kibosh on any choreographed moves for the remainder of its year-long tenure. Specifically, some of San Francisco's feisty and long-standing community of roller skaters who have been hanging out and throwing free roller discos at the park's Skatin' Palace every Sunday for decades are miffed. Man, if this is the thing
Miffed.
that pisses you off,
Yeah.
Serenity, tell them what you usually tell me.
You need Jesus.
You need Jesus.
You need Jesus in your life.
You need Jesus,
this
baby.
makes you
Okay,
mad-
sorry. I have to go full accent. You need Jesus, sweetie.
Okay.
And bless your damn heart.
Bless their hearts.
Bless your
Okay.
heart.
So we in California and Oregon are actually introducing this huge program because apparently we've screwed up the Klamath River really badly, and it's not been particularly good for the salmon, which is a multi-billion-dollar
Oh, this
industry.
thing.
They're looking at taking out 4 dams on the Klamath River. This is like the biggest sort of thing they've done of its kind ever. Yeah, they're going to take
Are
out
these
these.
man-made dams or
Yes.
are these?
Are these asshole beavers? No, these are man-made dams
Okay, these are
on the
I know,
Klamath River.
I know this. I know this river. And
Yeah,
I know where this is. I wanted to make sure it was where I thought it was.
Are
Yeah.
these the 4 dams that we talked about a while ago that the Native Americans were the ones who were pushing for them
Yep.
to be removed?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
so it's actually moving forward. They're already starting to get ready to dismantle the first of the 4 of them, and it should
boy.
actually restore a lot of this this whole watershed. And ultimately, if it means more salmon in the ocean, it means more salmon in my belly, and I'm all for it.
The one problem with that is that, okay, how do I say this nicely?
Don't be nice, just say it.
Have the people and not the Native Americans who claim to know nature but then don't know how to deal with it when nature turns on them, looked into to make sure that terrible storms that you all have gotten for the last year that caused all of that rainfall and all of that flooding, that removal of these dams isn't going to cause that watershed to fuck up a bunch of neighboring cities and towns and villages and people who live nearby, including the Native Americans.
Yeah, so what you're saying is, have they considered the flood control implications of
Yes.
Of this particular
Yeah.
move? Well,
And
Yes.
there are some militant tribes that seine fish that river And when I used to go camping on that river, I used to do primitive camping up there. We used to hear them trading rifle shots with each other, with other groups of people. So you're getting our fish. No, you're getting our fish. It's tribes versus tribes. One time we parked our car down. We went back, and when the boat comes to get you, need to take you back to civilization. Our car, a Pontiac Monza, a Chevy Monza, whatever made the Monza back, and this was 1978. 78 Monza, was gone. Well, these 5 burly sheriff's deputies and a couple of their friends had picked up the Monza and walked it in back of the sheriff's. They picked up this car, walked it around to the other side of the building, so it would be out of the line of fire of these 2 Indian tribes that were shooting up in town. Yeah, there at Crescent City. Yeah. Yeah, that was a thing that really happened to me. It was scared the crap out of us. There was a lot of gunfire on the river on that trip when we were up there.
You know, it's bad when Hatfield and McCoy families who've hated each other for fucking decades don't act like that.
These guys hated each other for 2,000 years.
Oh, well, I know, but still, like, West Virginia usually got a little moonshine in them, so they usually pull some stupid crap. But even they don't pull that stuff.
Okay.
Because there's Hatfield and McCoy trails. But
These guys hated each other back in China.
But back to the original question, have they said anything about thinking about the watershed complications or anything?
Let me
Has anyone thought of this?
Well, here, let me answer your question as best as I can. So what you'll notice here is there are 4 little white dots. Those are the dams that are being taken out. And right ahead of it, there are 2 little blue dots. Those are dams that are not affected by this project. So in order to maximize the hydroelectric power you get from these dams, you basically want to reuse the kinetic energy from those water drops as many times as you possibly can. So there's extra dams that are in there. They're not taking out all the dams. They're just taking out like 4 that are like part of that little staircase that of dams further down. So they're not removing all of the flood control, but they're freeing up a big section of this river. And a lot of the stuff upstream where a lot of the rain falls is still going to be behind a pair of dams. So it should be okay-ish.
Well, that's my thing, though, is like California was also, and y'all are still partially in a drought, and I'm not saying you aren't, but you all were also complaining a lot about a lot of water, and then you all got a lot of water, and then people who never flooded a day in life were shocked crap out of, and that's a lot of. If it's a staircase of dams, it means they all are kind of a little bit lower than each other.
Yeah.
Are we sure that's going to knock out that dam that's at the very, very end of them, or cause other problems? Like, that's my thing. Like, that's my worry. Like, if people want to fight. But it's I'm talking about the tribes. If they fight, Mother Nature will handle them, because I think Mother Nature's trying to. But like, I'm just
cynical. It's a cynical remark there.
But it's just
You should go tell them to find Jesus.
Don't tempt me.
That always goes over well.
I'll take fire, water, and some beads. They'll be fine. But it's just like that's the thing that worries me, because it was kind of like the fact that what we saw with all the rainfall in California is that no one was prepared for when you all got rainfall to redivert it to where it needed to go. It's like, I just have a feeling this is going to hurt a lot of people in a few years. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh my God!"
Well, okay. I don't want to get into a hour-long symposium on water policy, because
Sorry.
I'm the only one who will be interested in that, because I'm just that boring.
No, I'm not interested. I'm that boring. Also.
Man, I got to tell you, when I was playing pool back in the pre-COVID days, it was my friend Steve, who was on the show one night for the book stream that we did. He and I used to we'd show up and just start talking about reservoir levels, and then bring up our phones, and we both have bookmarked the same thing. I missed that. Anyway, I don't.
Bless you, Harry.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you have to factor in, right? There's levees. There's how close you let people build to certain bodies of water, zoning type things. There's a lot that goes into flood control other than just dams, and dams by themselves can actually silt up
Oh yeah.
They have to be repaired in seismically active areas like this. They can create their own liabilities too. So
Oh yeah.
luckily, I don't have standing. None of this, if it floods, is going to be a problem for me. So, as I am not there, but I think they've at least got that basic flood control stuff as well handled as it can be, because you can only plan for so many things. There's.
I know. It's just I always worry about the
It's
lower
probably
income
fine.
people.
It's probably
always the
fine.
ones
You mean the
that-
people who live in Happy
Yeah.
Camp, all 12 of them?
Hey, that's 12 people who don't deserve to get hit because a bunch of tribes have a pole up their butts.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, Wairika is here, which is near the Shasta River, is a real town. That's like practically the last civilization you run into in Central California before you get to Oregon.
Wairika, the town, is that the town that was named because they had a sign that said bakery on it, but it only had part of the.
That's
and
an urban myth, I'm
Is
afraid.
that an urban legend?
Yeah,
Just wondered if that was it.
it's actually a Native American word for
my
mountain or
goodness.
some such nonsense. I don't remember. I looked it up recently, but it's not. I've looked at the bakery thing. All right, so I have to
Anyway.
keep this
Tangent.
keep this thing moving.
Sorry.
Let's see. Now, look at how beautiful this segue is. You're gonna
Okay.
you just admire what I'm about to do here.
You're gonna go Jewish. We're gonna plots.
Japan's government uses Minecraft to show off a huge real-world infrastructure program. The Japanese
Hey man, whatever
Ministry
works.
of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism has been playing Minecraft. Essentially, okay, I'm just going to show you. The video does
Show
a better
it.
job than
Show
me.
it. Just make sure you mute.
Yeah. So they actually released a video showing the project they were going to build in Minecraft. So here's the valley. Here's
man,
here's
it
the
works.
dam. This is awesome. I love this. So
This is so cool.
yeah, so they're like, hey, this is what it's going to look like, when it's done. And then
This is
they
excellent.
say, here's a rendering of what it's going to look like in real life. They show it from multiple perspectives.
Get this little axe or whatever that is.
That's a firework. When you're in
Oh.
God mode, you use that to like fly around.
God damn it.
When you have your
Yeah, that's
wings.
adorable.
Oh,
There
did
are
Harry
no
did
people.
did Harry play Minecraft?
I've played Minecraft.
Yep.
So
Oh,
good job,
Harry.
Japan. I mean,
Hey, it's awesome, man.
Well, okay, again, sort of. Obviously, there's lots of different ways you can do this, but I think as a way to communicate what you're going to do, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, it also kind of gives you a better idea of scale too, because like you can figure out how tall your little Minecraft person is and how it is in comparison, like, and then figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Whereas, and plus, it's an easier program to use than some of the freaking programs they use in like engineering and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the basic idea. We'll let the engineers and the architects figure the rest of the crap out, but this is the basic idea. Here you go.
Good job, Japan. Okay, so I keep running across these things that I hate online. So we talked about My Story Animated, right? With that brave girl who fought all the bullies.
Oh, that
and
shit. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think I found something that might possibly be even more annoying. Well,
Oh, boy,
I don't know if
here we
that's
go.
possible, but okay. This
find out.
is actually titled "Disabled Woman Refused at Restaurant" Part 6. This is just a
Oh, boy.
sample of the work that this one group does.
Done. We're going to do this the hard way.
That won't be necessary.
This is good acting.
Wait, what's going on here?
Am I allowed to eat here now?
You've got a
Oh,
lot of
God.
nerve, lady. Pretending to be disabled so that you could get extra treatments? You're embarrassing me in front of the food critic.
You're embarrassing me in front of the food critic. Gosh, I wonder what's going to happen next.
The critic's gonna be disabled.
I wonder what it's going to be.
Food critic.
Yeah, food critic. Have you ever heard of the Michelin Guide?
Michelina.
Guide.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yes, it is. And we're very glad to have you here with us to review our food.
Me? You think I'm a food critic? That's hilarious. What gave you that impression? What? That would be me.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Okay, one, as I'm sure everyone who's worked in food service will tell you,
So painful.
every food critic's face is known in the kitchen, so
This
there's
is
no
so
way.
painful. This is so painful.
This is so bad.
This is so painful.
It's a good thing for that background music, or else we wouldn't know that was a shocking
Yeah.
revelation.
I
you
know.
So there's another one which we are not going to watch,
Good Lord.
but it's called Racist Boss Humiliates Immigrant Worker. So this guy shows up
God.
and for a job
dirty
interview,
immigrant.
and the guy keeps saying, well, if you're going to take care of the trash, it's over there. And then, of course, he's insulting and terrible. I'm just going to put the link to this in the chat. So if anybody feels like they want to metaphorically hit themselves in the testicles,
It turns out no, you see, I just bought the company. I'm actually a trillionaire, and
That's
I
right.
own you.
So it's all
Everybody clapped.
yeah, it's
Yes,
all the Reddit
exactly.
stories.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, sure, honey, sure, that's what happened.
so much lazy crap, man. There's so many of these kinds of
No
channels
thinking.
on
Oh yeah.
No thinking at all.
no thinking
And
at
the-
all.
And the thing is, it's terrifying. This terrible acting people. I think with the new
You're
SAG
right.
rules, the people can now get a SAG card for doing this crap.
Yeah.
You can get a SAG card for almost.
Okay. So
True, but-
here's another piece of cringe. There's no video this time, mercifully.
Damn.
Okay. So the night Dad went to jail. What to expect when someone you love goes to jail? Life's challenges.
Jesus.
Hey, see ya. Yeah.
Send it to California.
By Melissa
what?
Higgins.
This is fine. This is okay. Because some
Come on,
people
Sora.
don't, some parents don't know how to talk to their kids about some important matters. Just give them this book about the sad bunny.
That's
There
all
you
you
go.
have to do.
That's all
just,
you need.
Just hand them this book, and then when those letters from Dad in jail asking for money for cigarettes and ransom to keep from getting raped at night,
Send him some mackerel.
And
Yeah,
and
so-
the and the
send
and
them
nail
some
file
mackerel. That's the key. Right.
and hide the nail file in the cake. That's all you gotta do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ask Derek Chauvin.
God, for assholes.
All right. The night Dad went to jail. So
Worst title for a book ever.
Sydney
Yeah, really.
Watson did a
Oh,
video
Jesus.
recently,
Yes.
and
One.
called
Violet
"The
one?
Disturbing Obsession with Barely Legal Women."
Oh, honey, that's been around for decades. Get over it.
And I'm just going to give you a very brief sample.
and only ever really touched on very briefly, is the way that society responds to teenagers and young people who are barely legal, like in the adult sense. And yes, this is going to
Yeah.
be one of those videos where I
Yeah.
spend the whole time either speaking in
Good
code or
point.
bleeping myself. Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, she spent 30
Bleeping myself.
minutes talking about this topic. Okay.
Sugar, there's been a barely legal magazine of the P word kind around since like 50s.
Well,
like,
she-
sweetheart, get on the
She
train.
makes the point that some entertainer, some pop star, became 18, set up an OnlyFans, and made most of their money right when they set up their OnlyFans in the first 6 months right after they turned 18. Ergo, we have some societal problem because we're obsessed with youth and the
It's-
attractiveness of youth. Now,
Okay.
if somebody was a 21-year-old celebrity and they suddenly became the new thing, just like the new restaurant that opens up, right?
Okay.
The new restaurant opens up, there's lines around the door. Even if you were 21, people would still, if you're a celebrity, probably flock to see the new thing when it's new. So
At least until this fish started smelling bad.
right, but that's just selection bias to begin with. And I'm not claiming there isn't a genetic
Yeah.
evolutionary psychology thing that goes on that makes some people attracted to younger people, and that's women too. We see enough
yeah,
of these
no,
bad
absolutely.
these bad touch teachers out there that
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So and also if what you're complaining about is the fact that people wait until people are legally available, like they leave them alone and they wait till they're legally available, and then they're like the new thing on the market, and that's somehow bad. I'm just like having trouble figuring out what got her 30 minutes worth of butt hurt.
Well, it's like how old is this woman?
30.
How old are you?
30?
She was born in
Something?
90.
Roughly
She was born in 90. So,
33?
like,
Yeah.
honey,
30-ish,
honey,
30,
baby
yes.
sugar child. I remember when there were forums that had countdown timers to when Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen turned 18.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
They did that for Emma Watson.
Yeah, they did that for all of them. It's like, I get it, sweetheart, but there's people that have always been like that. And it's not the creepy pedophile thing. It's not that. We're not going that way. It's just... It's a little creepy. It's a little creepy when you have a timer. It's a little creepy. But if they're already...
It's a lot creepy, but at least they're trying to stay on the total line of the law, I guess.
Yeah.
Right side of the law.
They waited. You gave them a
Gross.
limit, and they waited. And you know, they're not like
God.
Maybe they feel like they could have a fulfilling relationship at that moment at midnight that they couldn't have had legally 1 minute before, but 1 minute after midnight they can have that nurturing and you know.
And while I get the fetishization, I get kind of what she was probably trying to get at. This has always existed. This has existed as soon as they started making legal adult age.
Before the Egyptians.
Like, it's always happened.
Egyptians. The
Sorry.
stuff was in
Yeah. Now, if we get into the fetish side of it, when you have girls and guys faking being underage,
yeah.
for the fetish side, that's when I have a major problem with it. But barely, let them have it. I don't fuck it. Watch your porn. Don't care.
Yeah. So you want to talk about Nigel news?
Yeah,
Do it.
Nigel News.
Okay, rat
Has he
plague
risen from
spreads
the
to
dead?
Australia's fishing towns.
Already?
Apparently, there is a terrible rat explosion going on in parts of Australia. Thousands of rats,
that's
dead
big.
and alive, have swept
Oh,
up on
God.
beaches in Queensland, Australia, overwhelming residents. Part of the state have been battling a rat and mouse plague for months now. A surge in the native rodent population has forced the rats to move coastward in their search for more food, but many do not survive the trip.
Yep.
Mate,
Natural
there's
selection.
rats everywhere. Okay.
We're in a fishing village. Get more cats.
We have hire vehicles, and they literally destroyed a car overnight, taking all the wiring out of the engine bay. Well, they usually don't take the wiring; they eat the insulation off the wiring.
Yeah, they eat the insulation. Yeah.
But, you know, but if I was upside down all the time, I would say stupid things too. Yeah. So I guess because there was too much rain and they had bumper crops of everything, now Australia is big sections of it are being overrun by a plague of rats.
I feel like this
Those people
happened
just
like.
can't be happy. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine, Skip. I'm sorry, but it's like. I feel like this happened like 15 or 20 years ago. I feel like there were videos coming out of Australia, like just waves of mice coming out of the grain silos in Australia. Like I remember videos. So this is cyclical for them. I think they'd be used to it by now.
One would think, yeah.
Plague of rats.
Okay.
Well, you do. Well, to touch back on the religious crap, we all know what's going to happen on the internet. It's the plague of rats. It's one of God's plagues.
End times.
There isn't
Yeah,
a
we're gonna
rat
see-
plague in the New Testament or Old Testament, is there? There's just a frog plague and a locust plague.
Yeah.
There's a plague of rats when Moses goes against Pharaoh.
Is there?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one. I have to get my Charlton Heston collection box set out and take a look and see if it's there. Was that one of the plagues that Moses sent, a plague of rats?
It was. There were
Vermin.
rats involved. Vermin, that's what it was.
Okay.
Not rats specifically, but we all know how well people interpret the Bible.
Stupid frogs. All right, so let's see. Rat plague. And I have this just Nigellus maximus, a giant 1.5 foot long rat that can crack oaken coconuts, photographed for first time on remote island.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
If they can crack open coconuts, imagine what they do to a human skull.
I don't think he's cute. He's an enormous
Harry
rat.
Nightmares.
Yeah, it's Harry's nightmare.
It's on the Solomon Islands. Look at that little bastard.
I
See,
wanna
he's
hug
in
him.
he's in
Hopefully
Nigel
he can't
vision.
swim.
Rats, rats can always swim, Sora. Rats can always swim.
Damn it.
Oh my God. it's
There
big.
is no mention of rats in the biblical account, only of crop pests, mice that mar the land in 1 Samuel 6:5, which is a completely separate thing. But
Yeah.
in any case, nobody then could possibly have known of rat or flea vectors. The first person to have known, anyway, blah blah blah. But yeah, there is no mention of rats.
Yeah. Well, rats made their themselves known in Europe, certainly.
Yes.
So this is the Van Gnu rat, giant rat, an elusive rodent that can grow up to 1.5 feet long and is known from only a single specimen that fell out of a tree 6 years ago.
Wow.
So using camera.
I didn't know that, Serenity. By the way, I had to look that up. And
I
usually think I know quite a bit about the Bible.
Well, I was confused too. So
I knew it wasn't in the Egyptian thing, but I didn't know there was no mention of rats at all in the Bible. But I'm seeing a couple authoritative sources.
I think I may have gotten it confused with the song from Prince of Egypt, where it's Moses and Pharaoh going back and forth, and I think he mentions rats, and I think that's where my brain jumped to.
Nice.
Yep.
I love that movie, but anyway, continue.
Most people don't even know what locusts are.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Well, you know. Oh, Serenity's audio did that fun thing. That was awesome. That was awesome. Do that again.
That was really cool.
I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. Fuck off.
Where her voice Frippertronic looped. It was nice.
That was outstanding.
That was really good.
StreamYards, I fucking hate you.
I know it is the suck. Anyway, so there's 1.5 foot long rats on the Solomon Islands. I think we need to do more nuclear testing. I suggest we start there.
No, but if we do,
I think we should boop the snoots.
But if they do nuclear testing, Kefki, we'll get like 1.5 meters tall. Like just go with Godzilla theory. Go with the Godzilla theory.
Maybe with two heads, so you can give them double neck scritchies that way.
There you go.
One neck to scritch with each hand. Okay.
Yay!
All right.
It's a Hydra rat.
One neck to scratch them.
Not a fan.
One hand to find a wall.
Okay. And in the government we deserve, UK bans 2 Toyota adverts for promoting off-road driving. So Toyota makes some notoriously rugged, reliable vehicles, which they target toward farmers and people who live in rural areas, like in Australia and in the UK. And they dared to have a commercial trying to sell their truck to people in the country that showed them driving not on pavement. Therefore, Captain Planet was made sad, and they literally would not let them run their commercials. I kid you not.
So these commercials have been deemed to have not be ecologically sensitive.
They don't meet the social responsibility obligations of the advertisers.
So there's a propaganda requirement.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be negative about it, yeah.
Skep, God, don't point anything out. Jesus.
Yeah. Fucking brutal police state enforcing its bullshit on our creative process.
Yeah.
Let Toyota sell what they want to sell the way they want to. Get out of their way. You assholes. UK is just turning into assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is pretty terrible. So
they've only got one city, that London place.
Londinium, yeah. It's really gone downhill in the last 2,000 years.
I think Manchester, Leeds, and several other cities will Slough. Don't judge, and we'll fight you on that one, Skip.
Yeah,
I think they'll fight you. I'm just saying.
It's like no, I don't want to move to Slough. Okay.
I've spent some time in England.
I'm sure you have
a lot of respect for it.
So back to the United States. Let's see.
In the lawsuit, and of course,
ghetto mayor sends gang member to attack citizen.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
You saw this? You seen this?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
I had to watch Actual Justice Warrior at like 1.5 speed because he talked too slow.
But he's got good videos.
Well, I've fast forwarded past 8 minutes and 26 seconds of BS we don't need to know about. So essentially, this woman did not like the mayor of this town in Southern California. And the mayor has been as petty as you can possibly imagine, up to and including sending city crews out to basically paint all the curbs red in front of this woman's house so nobody can park there. She's like, no, you street parking? You don't get any street parking, sweetie, because I'm the mayor and you've pissed me off. Yeah, it
That
is
a level
impressive.
petty.
It is
That's a level
impressive.
petty I never thought I'd see.
But then she went just a little bit farther here.
It escalated even further to the point where she was sicking a gang member on this woman in order to intimidate her.
Out in public, she sends a known gang member from El Monte Flores to intimidate my client.
Mayor Ancona, seen here wearing a green top, appears to motion to the tall man wearing the number 92 jersey. He points his finger and then walks over to Leos, who is recording on her phone.
Yeah, the gang thug just got out of prison, hanging out with the mayor because, that's got to keep this guy employed.
As you do.
So she sends this gang thug over to have a little chat with the woman that she doesn't like. This is a bit much. This is not the kind of politics I'm used to. I mean, sure, Eric Adams may have annoyed Joe Biden with some of his complaining, and now all of a sudden he's in all kinds of hot water. But, I'm sure that's just a coincidence that the FBI and all these people went after him like a couple days after he made a stink about the immigrants. But sending a gang member fresh out of prison over to intimidate a woman, that's pretty bad.
Bad idea.
I can't think of anything like this happening that I can remember during my lifetime. I mean, I'm not from a city official. This is like union boss level of intimidation. This is not good. I guess it sort of goes without saying. But yeah, I saw this story and you guys are already familiar with it. I guess I'm the late one to the party. All right. So speaking of things that I didn't know about, are you guys familiar with this whole idea of dating at Home Depot?
Dating at Home Depot? I'm not. Tell me about this.
Sure.
I don't hate society.
It's like Skeps back on the market. If this is the thing.
This month. No husbands in sight.
Oh, picking up a man at Home Depot. Yeah, I've heard of that.
I'm leaving Home Depot without what I need.
I thought you meant like going on a date with a woman, like taking her to
If
Home
you pick up a woman at Home Depot, do you have to keep going back during the day like 3 more times?
Well, she went there 3 times and couldn't find a man. So there's this other video.
An adapter.
So there's another video here, and I'm going to cut it off before the person who's reviewing the video starts talking because her voice is kind of like fingernails on a chalkboard, and that's coming from me with my voice.
Oh boy.
Just walk around Home Depot and pretend like you're lost to find your next guy. Literally, nobody helped me or even approached me. I was there for an hour and I was just kind of walking around. I had some stuff I actually had to pick up, but
She's sad.
that's embarrassing for me.
First of all,
Okay.
Only.
Ugh.
Okay.
No, she
Oh,
didn't
Madam
know the man.
Depot, are you the-
Oh my God. Sorry.
Sorry.
The way she talks.
Well, okay. I mean, Sora was going to say something. What were you going to say, Sora?
Sorry, Sora.
At least, no, that was funny. At least it's the idea of trying to get off the internet and sit in a cafe or walk somewhere in the hopes that how people used to chat with each other, like the human connection. It's not a bad. It's a funny concept, but at least it's positive in that. Hey, there's more people doing look at me. I'm actually actively walking around, saying maybe I'll have my meet cute moment and stuff. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's funny but cute.
Yeah, Home Depot core. I think that's what it is.
Home Depot core. But like walking around for an hour, I can see that happening without you because it's like being in IKEA or something like that. Time loses all meaning in these kind of stores. So, you never know.
Yeah. Let me see if I can mute this and reload it so I don't have to look at this woman's face anymore. Okay. Because I just want to get a picture of the young lady there. Now, I mean, if things hadn't gone the way they have in the last 10 years, where men have basically been told, you might lose your job if you talk to a woman without permission. I'm sorry if that sounds like an exaggeration, but it's within the realm of theoretical possibility, right? Even if you're just old enough to be her dad and you offer to give her some help, there's no upside. There's no upside for most men to put themselves out there for this sort of thing. And because I mean, there's nothing wrong with this young lady. She looks all freshly scrubbed and sweet, and I mean, she's a very attractive young lady. And it's sad that she's sad that this isn't working. I mean, hopefully she's not that desperate, because if she can't find a date, there's something very wrong with the world. But I just don't. I mean, yes, it's good to get up off your ass and go out and do stuff. And I think people are just going to need to suck it up and be more fearless. I mean, I talked to a woman Today, I talked to a woman in a store, and we exchanged a brief joke, and I didn't get sued or canceled or anything. It was great. And it was a hardware store, actually, now that I think about it. But I think it's just a question of how you go about doing it. There was a guy who did a video where he said that he'd gone to Home Depot 3 times and spent 10 hours there each time, and not one single woman came up and tried to, ask him for help or anything. So, I don't know. I think in general, you could do worse than looking for a date at Home Depot.
I go and hang out at Home Depot just hoping people will come up and talk to me.
Well, honestly, you should, if you're going to do that, they might as well give you the vest, and then you can tell people how to solve their problems, and then you just get like a check at the end of the month.
You know, it's funny that you should say that, because I have thought on occasion that that's what I would like to do.
You want to be the old guy with the vest who gives advice. Yeah,
I am
absolutely.
that guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, where was I a few days ago? Yeah, I was at a place, and somebody asked, I was at the restaurant supply place, and somebody once again asked me if I work there. Everywhere I go, people think I work there. And I wasn't like wearing a uniform. People think, oh, Harry must work here. I guess that's good. At least I look like I work somewhere.
I can see that with you.
I just
look employed.
So functional. I just walked out of the walk-in refrigerator where they keep all the meats that are frozen. And that thing is freaking cold. I mean, it's like, 5-10 degrees below Fahrenheit. And my glasses were totally steamed up as I came out of this thing. So I took my glasses off, and I'm surprised that me squinting and looking bewildered like I couldn't see anything, like a baby mole rat that was just born, didn't cause this woman to leave me alone. But no, she was trying to ask me for help. And what I usually say is, hey, I'll help you anyway. If you need help, I'll help you.
Same.
Yeah,
same. For sure.
Oh, I bought 80 pounds worth of chicken, just as an aside. And
any
80 pounds
parts, or
yeah, I got 40 pounds of hindquarters and 40 pounds of chicken breast, and I basically took it and vacuum sealed it all and put it back in the freezer.
Yeah. Good lad.
Harry's not going to need chicken anytime soon.
Good lad.
$2 a pound. It was a good buy.
We've been freeze drying it. We bought about 30 pounds of chicken the other day and freeze dried that. That's an interesting thing. It basically it looks like chicken, but it weighs as much as styrofoam, and has that texture and will crumble in your hands. Then when you reconstitute with water and make soup out of it, it's amazing.
Well,
and it will keep for 20 years.
Nice.
That's the other thing.
Well, speaking of being handy, we talked about the ceiling bird at one point, right?
Yes.
And the ceiling bird, and we talked about we talked about people of color ignoring the ceiling bird, not understanding what the ceiling bird was, that sort of thing. That is not an invitation for you to press that button, functional. Just saying. So here's a video. This is what happens when a white guy has the smoke alarm go off. It's like he immediately gets
smoke
up
alarm starts
and
going
goes.
Off, so naturally, I go check.
Goes upstairs to check on it. He takes it outside, lets it sit for 2 hours. It keeps going. He's like trying to debug his smoke alarms. It's just the contrast between this and the people of color videos where they don't hear the smoke alarm is interesting. I mean, I know it's a bit of a setup, but have you ever just ignored a smoke alarm? I haven't. Smoke alarm beeps.
No.
You go to that drawer where the battery is. You change the battery, and then you get on with your day.
Yeah,
this is maddening.
It's easy.
Yeah,
it's too easy to take care of.
Yeah, why should this even be a problem?
Not?
Yeah,
exactly.
And honestly, like they do a lot of work. It's like a gun or a condom. I'd rather have one in perfect working order and not need it, than need it and not have one.
Yeah, well, I may not be able to dance.
Reserve parachute also.
And I may like mayonnaise a little too much, but at least I know how to change the battery in my smoke detector. Yay me. Okay.
Good lad.
Let's see.
I still
Oh,
think it has more to do with.
let's see. That's the otter thing. We've already seen that. How about a kangaroo fight?
Oh.
Yeah, those are brutal.
Okay.
Oh no.
So these kangaroos are on somebody's front lawn and they're just having a little competition. Now, the thing that just surprised me is I had no idea they could rest on their tails and then kick with both feet.
Oh my god.
Look at those little assholes.
Wow.
They've got biceps that could knock out a fucking
Whoa.
What? They can sit on their tails.
Whoa.
Am I the only one that didn't know that? Because I didn't know that.
Those are right kicks.
What they will do is they'll sit back on their tails and then they will use their lower legs to disembowel each other. That's what they're trying to do.
God.
They have huge claws on the ends of their feet, and they absolutely tear a human being apart. Those big kangaroos, and most of them are malicious and they like doing it too.
Yeah.
I've heard.
They're kind of assholes.
I've heard
They
that's
are
what-
assholes.
yeah.
Screw these
kangaroos are assholes.
stupid
Screw
things.
these.
Okay.
And so is everything else from Australia.
Would you
Sorry,
like-
it's just the truth.
Would you like a little Schadenfreude?
Everything's an
functional?
asshole. Everything's
Yes,
Yes,
Schadenfreude,
always.
Yes.
Those emojis honestly should be illegal. I've been emailing Apple every single day to remove the meat emojis from the iPhones, and they're not doing it. I don't know why they're not doing it. I've been emailing them every single day to stop putting the meat emojis in the phones. Like, it should be illegal. It's offensive to me, and it's triggering to people like me who are
Gerald
vegan, and
thinks
it's so
he's in
triggering.
control.
And I don't know why they don't take
Triggering
them
the
off the
vegans.
iPhone, because they're so triggering. They are so triggering.
I'm gonna leave that right there.
Oh man.
Man, I don't know if I want
That
that to be
can't be
put
real.
on or not.
So
That
this
can't be
happened in
real.
real life at work
Okay.
a few years
Go
back.
on.
So
Are you
we
taking out
had
your meat again.
yes, but no. So we had a tiny little, the desk flip calendar for
Yeah.
patients. So they have access to a paper calendar when booking appointments. And this particular one, this was summertime, and it's one of those. It's some free local bakery one, and it just so happens that the one that was for that month had some little kid posing with a barbecue drumstick. So, posing like, oh, yay, it's summer barbecue season. I'm about to enjoy a drumstick. There was no biting in the drumstick. There was no, dead animal, being killed in the photos. Just a cute kid about to eat a barbecue chicken, okay? So, don't you think we've had no problems? Don't you think, here I am minding my own business, and a patient says, this is really, you really should be doing something about this, because I find this disturbing. She used the word disturbing. That stuck with me. That, and I was like, excuse me? It's like, some people find it offensive to have meat stuff. This is legit. This kid, this guy freaking out here, and this is something. This girl at the time was over her mid-30s. So I'm like, to which I responded, oh, well, we've had, everybody else has had zero problem with it. And also it's a calendar. Don't look at it. It's one of those things where you're just like, are you
Just
fucking
choose not to be
serious?
offended. That's all you have to do. Just choose.
And I remember her being highly irritated that I was not taking her, whether I gave her the tood or that I thought that it most likely sometimes I just cannot control it with the dumb fuckery that we have to deal with people at work.
I'm shocked.
I just cannot. It just slips out, and then this is one of the days the tone slipped 100% with this idiot. But yeah, so she was highly disturbed by a picture of a child eating barbecue chicken.
Yeah,
Because
that is
she's
sad.
vegan,
Yeah.
And how dare she put eyes? I'm like, just like imagine it's. I bet you it's fake. It's a that they airbrushed it in After Effects, right? I don't know if it's even a real chicken. Just pretend it's tofu.
But
like, what the hell?
where this goes is actually very sinister, because what happens next, or down the line, is that somebody says, I'm offended by this person being here. Just not knowing that this person is a white person triggers me. I want some safe spaces where I can. It's already starting to happen.
That already exists. There's even from a few years ago about that, Skep. There were videos
but where there
from
that will be guaranteed. That will become enshrined in constitutions and public law, that they have to be protected from white people. And you will eventually see a body of law grow up around catering to those demands. It's a very serious problem.
it's
very
bad.
serious thing that's happening to us. It really is happening too.
Because I remember it was something from a few years back to do with on college campuses. Somebody was crying because somebody else invited their white friend to some sort of club on campus.
Yes, and
it was all over YouTube at that time. People were making fun of it, and the person was losing their mind, crying. How here they were joining this
a
club
protected
to feel
space.
safe.
It's a safe space.
Something of that.
You're invading our
this
safe
was
space. You oppressive colonizer.
the poor other person is just like, oh my god.
It's good ass barbecue.
No, I agree with you. It's insidious to think about, but
Jones Good Ass Barbecue and Foot Massage. Come on down, get your feet rubbed, and get some good ass barbecue from Jones Good Ass Barbecue and Foot Massage.
I wonder what that what that foot sauce tastes like.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought we needed some
Secrets in the
pictures of barbecue while we were doing that. I should have been showing this for Kefki. In the kitchen, Kings of Memphis barbecue. Yeah. Interstate barbecue. I need to go there. See, this is what it looks like on the outside. You need to go.
Yep. We should do a meetup there.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh
that
my
is
god.
making me want to go barbecuing.
Oh my god. Sorry.
All right.
I'm about to die.
The show must go on. What the hell are we talking about?
I demand chicken.
Barbecue.
The 999 plan. Too close. Right. No, that's not it. All right. So we had the first Starship One launch proceeded to take the area of the launch pad and blow it into 1,000 tiny little pieces and scattered bits of concrete everywhere. So the question is, how did the launch pad hold up this time? Well, this time they were smart enough to put a water-cooled, ginormous steel plate underneath all of this stuff. So when they did the rocket burn, it didn't throw chunks of concrete like 60 miles around the damn launch site.
You're learning.
So not only did they get the engines to work and the stages to separate, but they managed to not completely obliterate the launch pad this time. So
that's a lot of energy that you got to handle and get. You're just introducing a huge delta in a small area, and it's going to stress the materials.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Yeah, so they did that, and they used it's just overall so many things went right. Now it's fun to hate Elon Musk because he's one of the richest people in the world, and I guess that's just what some people do because they're crabs in a bucket. But overall, the launch was a lot better than the first one, and they're going to be going again in I think December. The turnaround between the launches is like insane. NASA could have never pulled that schedule off.
No, exactly. Is this not the most obvious naked proof of why capitalism gets things done better, faster, and more optimally, more efficiently than anything else, because competing for a prize always beats being threatened with some goal, with not reaching some goal that was ill-defined and ill-designed in the first place by some central committee.
Yep.
Capitalism always wins that fight
Yep.
every single time.
Well, it's not that NASA doesn't have a function. There are things that you can do that, there's really no profit in them. But so we may have mentioned this before. Actually, I had to go through the story notes. And as far as I can tell, we have not talked about this before. So if this is a repeat in any way, I apologize. But there's a solar observatory, the Parker Solar Probe, which is up there monitoring what's going on with the sun. It's like this super hardened space probe that we're flying really close to the sun. And by close, I mean really close.
Basically in the sun.
Well, in the outer layers of the sun, which are not particularly dense. And as it keeps making these orbits, it's getting a little bit of a gravity assist over and over and over again.
Faster.
This thing, by the time next year rolls around, it will be going 430,000 miles per hour.
Shut up.
Which is like a whole record compared to anything else. Now, just for reference, the speed of light in miles is 186,000 miles per second. So we're still like a long way away from the speed of light. But compared to anything else that humans have ever put into motion, this thing is just jamming. And it is going.
Yeah, that's hauling the mail.
That is
miles an hour. I mean, you think about it, a returning spacecraft. If it's just low Earth orbit, it's coming in at anywhere from 17 to 25,000 miles an hour. If it's coming from the moon, it's coming in from 25 to 28,000, maybe 30,000 miles an hour. Apollo 8 or Apollo 13 rather. And that's an order of magnitude different from what we're talking about.
Well, let me provide a visual aid for you. So this is what the orbit looks like for this probe. So in blue, you see the Parker Solar Probe. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you see it goes around behind the sun. That's its first orbit. It's on its 17th orbit right now, by the way. And so we're cruising along. Everything's going okay. I can probably speed this up. Sorry. Let's see. 0.25. Okay. Sorry about that. And so here, it interacts with Venus. It just did a close pass, and you can see the orbits changed slightly.
Just because of the gravity?
Yeah, because of and this was but planned this way. So that second pass by Venus just tightened the orbit up even more. And with each of these changes in the orbit, which are planned interactions with Venus, you can see that it's actually getting closer and closer in on each pass to the sun. So it's getting closer and it's going faster. This is why this thing is accelerating over time.
That is awesome. How fast, theoretically, could that speed up to?
I don't know. The mission's going to end at some point.
But the planets will not, unless they blow it up, unless they discorporate the thing. It will continue to get swung around. I would think at some point it will hit an escape philosophy and drift off into space. I believe that's what will happen.
Maybe, or it's
either that or it'll hit something.
If it continues to increase in speed, if that rate of acceleration, if that rate of increase is high enough, it will.
So each of the interactions with Venus actually slow it down ever so slightly, but because of the new orbit, it's accelerated even more because of that close pass by the sun.
So
I mean, in Star Trek, the original series, this is what they did to time travel back to the 1970s.
Nuclear vessels?
Yeah, they used the gravity assist from the sun to get the speed that they needed. I mean, I guess warp factor wasn't enough, so we've got a gravity assist. Don't think about it too much. It's less fun that way. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. The fact that we have, first of all, that we have a probe that we can literally hurl into the outer parts of the sun. Okay, just to give you an example, I have one more visual aid here. This is it passing through a coronal mass ejection. These are the cameras from the probe. That's the Milky Way as they're passing. Yes. This is
That's so cool.
The sun is basically off to the left-hand side. Obviously, you wouldn't want to look at it. But yeah, this is it passing through a coronal mass ejection. What a beautiful time we live in.
Yeah, that is so cool to be able to see it. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
All that alpha radiation. Wow.
Things you never expected to see in your lifetime, right, Skep?
Man, no kidding. Really, truly.
No
Wonderful.
kidding. So
things that were maybe only science fiction less than 50 years ago.
let's see. Do we have any unused
You're not wrong.
palette cleansers? Oh, and I'm going to save this one for next year. It's another making fun of Australia thing. We can wait till next week for that. Okay, so I am so proud of this next thing because you know the kinds of articles that I like to put at the end of the show. And I want you to think about that I've met the mission requirement and I have produced a beautiful, beautiful segue from this article to the next one. May I present? Astronauts may suffer from erectile dysfunction after trips to space. Study finds. Yes!
Space penis news. Excellent.
Space penis news. It does not get any better than this.
Women most affected.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Sort of.
As much fun as all this jocularity is, they've found that because of all the shit that happens in space, the radiation, and a lot of the changes that seem to happen, it's causing oxidative stress that is measurably, and in some cases, permanently could cause erectile problems. This isn't something that we've tested on humans yet, because obviously we haven't left humans in space long enough to really get the gist of it. What they did is they took some poor mice and essentially subjected them to these kinds of conditions and broke their penises.
Oh, that's
Poor
not...
nieces.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about that.
There's nothing good about this. In the new study, thought to be the first to look at the sexual health risks of deep space journeys, researchers took rats and subjected them to similar conditions that will meet humans in space, lower weight to mimic the microgravity of space travel, and simulated galactic cosmic radiation of the kind that will rain down on space travelers. The simulated situation exerts a long-term impairment of neurovascular erectile function, which exposes a new health risk to consider with deep space exploration. If you're thinking you're going to send a bunch of humans to Mars and they're going to make babies and set up a colony, this might be something you have to factor in.
Yeah, you're going to break the inflator. Nitric acid won't. Nitric oxide won't help.
Yeah.
It won't do its job.
Well, they're saying, the negative impacts of galactic cosmic radiation were long-lasting, functional improvements induced by acutely targeting the redox and nitric acid pathways in the tissues suggest that the erectile dysfunction may be treatable, aka take the blue pill on the red planet.
Exactly.
Giggity.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Better living through chemistry, as we used to say.
Yeah, I have to say that I was just so happy when I found space penis news I could hardly contain myself. Geodes and I were having a good time laughing about this as we were planning stuff out for the show.
That's outstanding. Great job putting the show together tonight, by
With
the way, Harry.
some solid
You don't get enough
segues
credit
tonight.
For that, and I appreciate what you do.
Well, I
The
just
segues
appreciate
were
you guys showing up, because otherwise there would be no point in me putting the show together. So, kumbaya, everybody.
Kumbaya, but it's been fun. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Night.
Yeah. And with that, the zoo is closed. Thank you, panel. Thank you, chat. This has been your Saturday Minions. Good night.